Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again from the OREI team with an overview of the UHD-FO HD10-K fiber optic HDMI extension kit. This product was designed to make it really easy for you to share all of your media content from one location with a second remote location up to 10 kilometers away over a single fiber optic cable. The product fully supports 4K ultra high definition media content and is both HDMI 2.0B as well as HDCP 2.2 compliant, which means it's essentially plug and play compatible with a wide range of modern media equipment. It also provides an extended distance between your primary and secondary locations that you simply can't achieve with a standard LAN cable. Now, as part of this overview, I'd like to start with a quick unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the kit, and then I'll take a closer look at the transmitter and receiver modules and explain the connections and indicators so you understand how to use the kit. I'll list the features and functions that this product provides, and then I'll come back and do a short demonstration to show you just how easy this product will be to use with your own equipment. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first open up the box, you'll find a transmitter module and a receiver module. You'll find two DC 5-volt 1-amp power supplies. You can plug this into any standard wall outlet, and the other end has a barrel connection on it which plugs directly into the module and provides all the power you'll need for operation. You'll also find a full instruction manual included that lists connection diagrams, specifications, and a lot of other really good information about the kit that you'll need to understand in order to use it correctly. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at both modules, I'll list the features and functions, and then I'll do that demonstration. The kit includes both a transmitter module and a receiver module, and both of these feature full metal enclosures which make them incredibly durable and really helps to minimize outside interference from causing any issues with the sensitive electronics inside. Let's start with the transmitter module first. On the one end, you'll find a fiber channel connection, and this is where one end of the fiber channel cable plugs in between this transmitter and the receiver module. In the middle, you'll find a power indicator. When you add power to the module, it starts an internal power on self-test where it checks the electronics, and once it passes that test, it'll actually light that LED, letting you know the module's ready to use. To the right of that is a DC input port, and that's used with one of the power supplies. You'll simply plug that power supply into a wall outlet. The other end of the cable has a barrel connection on it, which plugs in right there and provides all the power you'll need for operation. On the other end of the module, you'll find a full-sized HDMI port labeled input. This connects to the media device you'd like to share the content from with your remote location. Always use a high-quality cable to make that connection. To the right of that is a link indicator. When you power up both modules and make that fiber optic connection between them, that cable is checked, and once it's been verified, that link indicator will come on, indicating a solid connection between the two locations. Finally, to the right of that is a service port. That's a USB-C port that's used for updating the firmware on the module if needed later on. And to complete that firmware upgrade, you'll connect this to a local computer and simply move that firmware file over to the module. The receiver module is very similar. Again, on the one end, you'll find the fiber channel connection. This is where the other end of the cable from the transmitter plugs in. Another power indicator, another power port. On the other end, you'll find a single HDMI port right here that connects to a local monitor at your remote location that you'd like to use to enjoy the content. Another link light, so again, when you make the connection between the two modules and power them up, the link light will come on indicating a solid connection. And finally, another USB-C port for updating the firmware on the receiver module if needed later on. The OREI FO HD10-K is compatible with most modern HDMI media sources, including security cameras, digital projectors, computer systems, media players like Apple TV, and streaming devices. The product's features include full support of 4K ultra high definition media content. It provides up to 10 kilometers of distance between the primary and secondary locations. It is both HDMI 2.0B as well as HDCP 2.2 compliant. It offers a small and compact design as well as simple plug-and-play operation. Now I'll show you the connections you'll need to make to use this product with your own equipment. And for this demonstration, over here I've set up a small media player that's currently looping a video on this monitor, and that's the media content that I'd like to share with my second location. Over here I've set up another monitor, and this represents the remote location where I'd like to enjoy the content from that primary location. And these can be up to 10 kilometers apart. In front of me, I have the transmitter module here and the receiver module here. Now the first set of connections I'll make are to the transmitter, and I'll start by disconnecting the media player from the monitor. and plugging that HDMI cable into the HDMI input port on the transmitter. And now I can connect the receiver up at the remote location. I have another high-speed HDMI cable connected to this monitor. I'll plug the other end of that cable into the HDMI output port on the receiver. And now I can connect the fiber optic cable between the two locations, and that can be an incredibly long cable. I have a short one right here to make that connection, and I'll plug that into the receiver and the other end of it into the transmitter. And all we're missing at this point is power. I've plugged in both power supplies, one at the primary and one at the secondary location. The other end of the cables from those power supplies have barrel connection on them, which plug into the DC input port on the end of the unit. And I'll do the same at the receiver. And the minute I add power to these two modules, they immediately start an internal power on self-test. This one is checking the resolution of the media content, and this one is checking the resolution of the monitor, and they're handshaking over that fiber optic cable. And it takes a second for all that to happen, and there you go. Now the best part about this is you have an HDMI source over here that's being converted into a signal that can be sent over an extremely long fiber optic cable to the receiver, then convert it back into an HDMI signal for display in that remote monitor. And it really is just that easy to get it working. I hope you found this overview of the OREI UHD-FO HD10-K fiber optic HDMI extension kit helpful. This product makes it incredibly easy for you to share all of your HDMI media content from one location with a second remote location up to 10 kilometers away over a single fiber optic cable. The fact that the product fully supports 4K ultra high definition media content and is both HDMI 2.0B as well as HDCP 2.2 compliant means it's going to work great with all of your modern media equipment. It's an incredibly simple kit to use. You'll plug the transmitter in at the primary location, connect your media source, connect the receiver at the remote location to a monitor for display, and connect the fiber optic cable between them, and you can distribute that content to that remote location. Everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and with a few simple connections, you can be up and running in no time. So until next time, thanks again for watching.